Good morning. Today we are going to cover the topic urban planning and urban renewal under the topic human settlement. So, in this we can see the definition of urban areas. In urban areas, which includes all the places like municipalities, corporation, cantonment boards, and even the notified town area committee. All these other places, which has the feature of about the minimum population of 5,000 and at least 75% of male working population will be engaged with non-agricultural works. And the densely populated area will have at least 400 persons per square meter, and apart from the urban areas and urban agglomeration, we are also having the rest in rural areas. So this is about the definition of urban areas. And we can see about the importance of master plan in this urban area planning. So urban area, definition for master plan is the covering of single unit, the successful covering of single unit, which many single units will have a successful city or town planning, and this creates the overall development of a coordinated town. So this is known as master plan. The master plan also have a developed expanded city for a long time, and this development requires a control over the time based on the plan. So such plan is known as a master plan. And this is the district profile map of Chennai and civic division map of Chennai. So this is the difference between how the divisions has been made. See, we can see the Saidapet, Adayar, Kodambakam, and Nungambakam, Basin Bridge. So these are all the some of the units inside Chennai. So this is the administrative division, north, central, and south zone of Chennai. And this is the revenue map of Chennai. So the revenue division covers all the most of the green areas which has been placed in even from Fort to Mylapore, Mambalam, Egmore, and Perambur. So these are all of the revenue divisions of Chennai. And what is the necessity of master plan? So this master plan is introduced after the industrial revolution. So the industrial revolution marks an importance of the history of growth. So the growth of the city, and it has a history, and that history is very important to make the evolution in the city. And this is between the world's two world wars, and especially after the Second World War, many towns and cities has been grown up with a proper planning. So after the overgrown cities become messed up and muddled with all the evils, these industries have created many pollutions, and these industries have become the heart of the cities without any consideration of transport and other services. So the migration of the people from urban to rural to urban areas have caused the shortage of housing. So this is because of increased congestion. This rapid development of transport and the inadequate growing needs many automobiles inside the city. And because of this enormous automobile inside the city creates a pollution, and this overcrowding and congestion results in many road accidents even. And these industries have encroached the residential areas also, and this creates many shortage in open and recreational areas. So in order to eradicate all these evil ill-planned cities, the emergence of master plan came into the function. So what is the scope and content of master plan? So this master plan will provide all the following matters which we are going to look after. This master plan has the planning land. So the land which will be planned and allotted, reserved with the zones which has been separated as residential, commercial, industrial, and agricultural. Each and every zones will be allotted separately with parking, playfields, and open spaces. So this allotted or reserved area for public buildings, institution, and civic amenities even. And these marking of many national highways, arterial roads, ring roads, major streets and lines will be in communication with railways, airports, and canals. So these are all the major transportation zones, railways, airports, and canals. These will be linked with the national highways and other linkage roads. Traffic and transportation pattern will be lower, and this traffic and circulation pattern will also be lower. So the major road and street improvements will also become regular after the introduction of this master plan. and the area which is reserved for the future development also will be expanding with the new houses, and the provision of the improvement of the areas with a bad layout will also be into the implementation, with more development in slum areas and relocation of the population of the people in the slum areas. And the amenities and services and utilities will also come into action, and the provisions with many detailed development, housing, shopping, industries, and civic amenities and educational and cultural facilities will also have a more detailing. And the control of architectural features will have like elevation, frontage development of the building and the structures will also be developed, and the regulation in the zones with the height of the buildings in proper location and the stories of the building. That is the according to the FSI, the buildings will be placed in a proper location, and the size of the yards and spaces will also be properly located in the case of master plan, and the stages of the master plan will be carried out. So, master plan will have a content of demography, economy, land use and structure. Infrastructure will be going through with water supply, sewage and electricity, with environment and disaster management, traffic and transportation, urban basic service of the poor like slum rehabilitation scheme and housing, and the social facilities, financial patterns, vision and goals and investment plans. So, the stages in the preparation of master plan. What are all the stages in the preparation of master plans? So, government used to prepare scheme, and that according to the scheme, the data will be collected. That is of collection of data. This data will be collected in two forms. One is negativity of the town, other one is positivity of the town. So, finding these two types, we can diagnose and suggest the remedies also. So, the replanning of existing towns have many planning or designing inside the land, with the capital of towns like New Delhi, Chandigarh, industrial towns like port, military cantonments, everything. And the work for the ordinary town planners will be usually restricted for the replanning of the existing town. After taking the government sanction in preparing the scheme, the next work will be the collection of data, which will help us to make a civil survey. This data collection of civil survey will make the position of correct diagnosis of the town for the cure. So next is the collection of data in the planning scheme, which is divided into two. One is old town, other one is new town. And this TDS collection of old town usually consists of narrow streets, congestion, insanitation, and unhealthy condition. But later, the zoned areas will be provisioned in all the civic communities. However, this care should be taken for the whole town, old or new, alike in all the suspects, and finally blended skillfully for separately intervened structure. So the next is the planning authority prepare the interim master plan, which is also the outline of the developed area, which will be limited in the 2 years. It will also have a notified public comments and suggestions, and the draft plan, which is revised with public lightings and the expert comments, will also be submitted to the government sanction, which will be having a time period of 4 months. After the government sanction, the revised plan will be appointed to the arbitrator. This arbitrator, after holding the proceedings with respect to the plot, he will submit the detailed proposal to the higher authority. This have no fixed time, at least of 12 months it will take for a small scheme or the large scheme, and this tribunal shall make enough scrutiny of arbitrator proposal and the conveying of decision. Then arbitrator prepares a final scheme and submit it to the government, and the local authority also forward it to the final scheme. So government sanctions the final scheme after the photos on your department, which has been printed in all the plans, which will take usually of 9 months. And this detailed master plan also will be a comprehensive development, which will also bind the authorities together. And at last, the financial program which has been prepared will be implemented for the master plan according to the schedule. This is the duration of preparation of master plan. Then the approach of urban planning, how the urban planning will be approached. So the problems of the existing planning will be taken care by UDPFI, that is Urban Development Plan Formulation and Implementation. According to the guidelines of UDPFI and the ITPI, that is Institution of Town Planners in India, they will have a Ministry of Urban Development and the Poverty Alleviation. So, in this, the government of India recommend the urban planning development with the four interpreted plans, that is perspective plan, development plan, annual plan, and the plan of projects. With this consideration of these four plans, they will approach the urban design and development. So the development plan will be prepared within a framework and it will be approved by the perspective plan in the medium of 5 years. So this socio-economic development of urban center will be made, and this objective of the development is the necessary details that has to be taken into action in the form of strategies and the physical proposal for the development of the urban center, which also develop like employment generation, economic based transportation, land use, and every other single thing, etc. It also contains the implementation strategies agency wise, that is the development promotion rules and the resource mobilization, which will also have the reference to finance, land, and manpower that provides the efficient system of monitoring. This development plan is a statutory document that is approved local authority for implementation with the scheme and the project, and would be co-terminus with 5-year plan of state government, and this will provide an opportunity to incorporate the needs and developments of aspiration. So in annual plan, we can see the purpose of preparation in annual plan will identify the new schemes and projects with the authority will undertake the implementation, which taken into about account about the physical and the performance of the preceding year, keeping in view of the priorities, the policies and the proposals contained in the approved development plan, and these plans would be provided with the resource requirement during the year and the source of funding, including of the mobilized local authority. If thus, the important document will be resource for the mobilization and the funding agencies for the manner of funding phase. And next, the plan, how the plan has been in the project has been approved. So the framework of development plans will be conceived about the working layouts, and this will be executed with the financial development administration and the management. These schemes could be of any area, whether it's residential or commercial, industrial, recreation, or any educational or related areas, will separately integrate applied in the integrated manner, such as government, semi-government, private, or even individual for the agency. Next is about the regional planning. So the regional planning deals primarily with the integrated development of human settlement and the countryside within the region. It also aims reducing the disparity of the levels of living of the people and the wide gulf between the urban and rural life. The regional planning can be a tool for the balanced development of the nation and coordinate the aims and the objectives of national development planning with the implementation program at the micro level. So the regional planning and the development, a village is a center of many activities in the countryside, and the town is the center of many other activities in the radius of about 10 to 15 kilometers. The great city is still a wide area which serves a regional center for economic and social organization. So the industrial revolution have certain towns to grow very rapidly without any relationship and to the countryside, and the service that has been tended to concentrate in few centers. This is about the regional planning and the development. This regional planning and the development have certain characteristics in their growth center. They, even a town or a village, they will have a less degree of regional capital. Each town works as a service center for the neighboring area and the seat of regional integration of the area around it. So in the present day activity, the concentrated place will be the center area. Then the consumer market governs the location of industries which depend on the population of the town and the environs. So this population cannot decide the hierarchy of human settlements. The function of the settlements is more important than the function of the population. The absence of more towns make the serve of wide area and the proximity of the town with some big towns to remain as a trading town and lower towns in the hierarchy. Next is zonal plan. Next is zonal plan. So in zonal planning, we can see the zonal development. That means the union territory of Delhi. So the planning details will be the linked with the layouts and the master plan. So zonal plan will be zone 1, that is P1, P2, and other three zones in the lower area is K1, L, and J. So these developments will be schemed, indicating the premises that confirms the master plan in a zonal division. Next is about the scope of the article that is answering about the zones. That is the questionnaire is about the zonal planning. What is the development of origin area and how the development planning happens and how it is what it require and what is the ZDP. So how the zonal planning, that is zoning, is started. So India's master plan approaches with the British town planning legislation. So after integrating the concept of zoning, the master plan will lead to the preparation of new hierarchy of development with zonal development plan with a more comprehensive and focused objectives. Next is about the definition, how the basic concept of zoning lies. It is about the settlement of zones and the district according to the present and potential use of land and buildings. So the zoning will have a particular attention towards the characteristics of place and suitability. This zoning will establish certain rights of citizens in a legally curved areas, and the objectives of zoning is the lesser congestion inside the streets and safety for fire and other hazards and health and general welfare and the protection from amenity value and hence property, and they have adequate light and air, that is proper ventilation and lighting, and to prevent more concentration over the population, over concentration of population. And next is to facilitate the transportation, water supply, sewage and schools and parks, and to encourage about the most appropriate use of land. So these are all the objectives of zoning. Next is about the urban renewal. So what is the urban renewal? Urban renewal of the areas is about the large city, that is typically involving about the clearance of slums. So urban renewal have made successful planning in the Barcelona, that is in Spain. So the definition of some of the terms that has been associated with urban renewal are slums, blit, and obsolescence. So slums may be broadly defined as the area with untidy and ill-ventilated residents without proper sanitation and water supply. In slum and blitted areas, we can find submerged humanity and social disorganization. Poor mostly inhabit these areas. Blit, any area or a part of urban or rural in deterioration is called blitted area. Irrespective of its degree of deterioration, the blit may be the physical condition such as typological blit or economic blit as the semi or full deterioration of commercial activities in the area. Obsolescence, it can be defined as an associate of blits and slums since the basic nature is same for all. An area which is unfit for the present use either due to the change in the pattern of living or due to the cultural or economic change, that is the obsolete area. The central area is about the older parts of the city with the center. So since the city starts growing to meet the increased population, they provide the fashionable and luxury type of building coupled with the residents of the poor city dwellers. Next is about the CBD, that is Central Business District, that denote the important central commercial zone where the commercial function is the predominant function and others are mostly negligible. This is the most accessible area of the town, so the most populous area in the daytime. This area predominant function is the commercial. So urban renewal program is essential to remove the congestion of traffic. This will demolish the useless building and the buildings which cannot be used to any purpose such as commercial or residential. So this substandard condition will make the building unfit for any case. The urban renewal program permits us to demolish them. It also enables us to rebuild the same area with all the facilities and make the environment in a planned manner. So the reason of the urban renewal will be divided into three, that is physical obsolescence, economic loss, and the social imbalance. The goals of the urban renewal will be to maintain the health of urban settlement, functions, financial adequacy of the government, capacity of the city, traffic and transportation, and the maintenance of the basic services. So these are all the goals of urban renewal. Next is about the three aspects which constitutes about the urban renewal. One is redevelopment, other one is rehabilitation, other one is conservation. So these three things is redevelopment is clearing and reusing the land, and rehabilitation is about repairing or remodeling, and the conservation is about the preventing. This redevelopment is about, it's applicable for arrangement of the buildings without any deterioration, with a worth of less to live and in a liable area of redevelop. They have the aim of redeveloped policy, that is removal of existing building, reuse of cleared land and open land that has been interspersed among the improved buildings and possibly adjacent land also. Rehabilitation is the building may be structurally good with the not properly habited, and or it may have some repairs inside, that is in the habitation process. So modernized and repairing which is enabled, and these buildings will be taken into rehabilitation, and they have certain policies such as the high degree of loss of efficiency in original function, or the condition appearing likely to cause deterioration in the sound of economic activity, or a continuous deterioration in the living condition, or the building will generally have good structure with a lack of maintenance. So administrative measures in controlling the use of reuse of land or the building, either to restore the area of original function, or creating a new and appropriate function in accordance with the general city purpose. So this is about the rehabilitation of the place, that is developing the place with a newer habit which people always use the, it will make the people to always use the place. Next is about conservation. The conservation is about generally suited with the functions and zones to kept in a good condition, and these will also have the measures of important zone such as to maintain a legally prescribed standards, rooms and dwellings, and they also have the overcrowding in places like buildings on site and strict enforcement of zones and regulations. Next, this is about the examples of conservation. Next, we can see about the physical benefits, social benefits, and economical benefits. So now we can see about the benefits of urban renewal. So this urban renewal have the wide range of benefits, which is classified into three categories. One is physical benefits, second one is social benefits, and the third thing is economical benefits. So social benefits includes that are evaluated and measured through many impact of physical events, and this social benefits that includes many new schools and recreational facilities like community centers, and the buildings with many poor and aged buildings, and health clinics, and many job training programs. So the most impressive social advancement of renewal offers will be the elimination of substandard housing and the creation of the standard housing in the neighborhood. And due to the renewal of the programs, there is a chance to the uplift of the status of slum dwellers. Next is about the economic benefits. The economic benefits is about the commercial purpose or the residential or the return from the residential purpose, which is the addition of many physical and social benefits. This renewed area will fetch more money as an income than unrenewed buildings, and the chance of the accidents are comparatively very less. So after that, the revealed study in United States says that the maintenance cost will also be less in the renewed areas than the unrenewed areas, in addition to the fear of collapse, which has been the substance for the building at any time. Next is about the strategies of urban renewal. that is rebuilding, redevelopment, rehabilitation, renewal, clearance, conservation, preservation, build, infrastructure, and economic gradation. These are all the strategies of urban renewal. Next is about the planning unit development. So the planning unit development is a type of building development which have a regular process. In this, the building development is designed with both varied and compatible uses like housing, recreation, commercial centers, and industrial parks with one contained development or subdivision. So this regular process means a land regulation that promotes large-scale unified developments with a mid-range of many programs with physically curable social and economical deficiencies. So the mixture of both land use and the dwelling types, with the least one of the land use being regional in nature. The clustering of residential land use provides the public and common spaces. They also have the increased administrative discretion of the local professional planning, that is the rigid plat approval process. Next is the enhancement of bargaining process, that is the developer and the government municipalities, which in turn strengthens the municipality site plan. And they also control the development of potential that increases the profits due to land efficiency. Next is about the PUD also takes variety of forms, that is ranging from small cluster of houses combined with the open spaces of new developing towns with thousands of residents and various land uses. They also have PUD does not take the consideration of types of development. They also have the category of size ranging from 100 to 200 acres. So this is the property owner owns the land and the dwelling sites on. Next is about the urban renewal. The land cost will not be financed in Himachal Pradesh, Uttaranchal, Jammu and Kashmir. So this is about the Jawaharlal Nehru National Urban Renewal Mission. This says about the mission's objectives, that is the planned development, integrated development of infrastructure, the linkage between the assets, creations and the assessment management, ensuring the adequate investment of funds. Next is about the scaling up of delivery of services and emphasis of universal access and the renewal of inner city areas. And the other salient features of this Jawaharlal Nehru Urban Renewal Mission is the city is required to prepare for the city development plans like infrastructural planning, framing urban reform agendas. They also support the infrastructure that is linked to reform the city and state need, that is to enter the agreement of Government of India. Next is about the urban infrastructural projects that prepares about the executed cities, which provides the funding assistance for the implementing urban projects based on the detailed project report. Next is about the eligible projects about the Jawaharlal Nehru Mission. That is the urban renewal project, water supply, sewage and sanitation project, solid waste management, storm water drains, urban transport, parking spaces, development of heritage areas, the preservation of water bodies, prevention and rehabilitation of soil erosion. Next is about this massive city modernization scheme. They improve the quality of life and infrastructure of the cities, and also the duration of the mission is about 7 years. Next, the background of the program. They need the urban sector development. According to 2001 census, this population of 1027 million will approximately be the 28% of the living urban areas. The urban population also increases about 40% of total population in the year of 2021. In 2011, this urban area contributes 65% of gross domestic product, and this depends on the availability and quality of infrastructural service. And the investment requires the urban sector, that is 7-year period, and this category will be of about the cities with over a 4 million population, with 1 to 4 million population in 28. And this is the list of identified cities that is eligible for this Jawaharlal Nehru mission. That is Delhi, Mumbai, Ahmedabad, Bangalore, Chennai, Kolkata, and Hyderabad. These cities were elected for the position of this mission. And the mission statement says about the reforms and fast track plan development of the identified city. And the scope of mission will be about 2 missions. that is submission of the urban infrastructure and governance, that is the Ministry of Urban Development. The main thrust of this mission will be the project relating to the water supply and sanitation, and this solid waste management, road network, urban transport and redevelopment of city areas. The submission of the basic services of urban poor administrate the Ministry of Urban Employment and Poverty, and the main trust area is about integrated development of slums through the projects of providing shelter. The other cities and towns will be other than the selected 63 towns, the urban infrastructural development scheme for the small and the medium towns and the integrated housing and slum development programs. And this salient features of this urban basic service to the urban poor is the central assistance of the form of additional central assistance and a minimum of 12% of beneficiary contribution of these houses, which are the cases of quotas like SC, ST, BC, OBC. And the central assistance will be predicated upon the state, urban, and the parastatals agreeing of reforms. Reforms will be ensuring the improvement of the urban governments, and cities also prepare the development of the plans. And next is about the funding. The funding will be released from additional central assistance, and these sectors have the proper development of slums, housing, and development of infrastructure. They also have the basic services of the urban poor. They also have the slum improvement and rehabilitation, and these projects of water supply, sewage drainage, and community toilets and baths. And the projects also provide houses for the affordable cost, and the construction and the improvement of drains and storms of water drains, and the solid waste management, street lighting. They also have the community halls and the child care centers and operation and maintenance of assets. And that's all. This is the end of the fifth chapter. This also deals with all the urban and renewal regions of the sectors for developing the most urban city.